Nobody ever talks about this movie. Let's do it. All the Boys Love Mandy Lane is about this teenage girl named Mandy Lane, and she apparently got super fucking hot over the summer, so everybody's obsessed with her. So she starts getting all of this attention that she had never gotten before, and one day one of her classmates, Dylan, invites her to a pool party, and Mandy says, sure, on the condition that my friend Emmett can come. So the two of them go to a party, and Dylan just like bullies the hell out of Emmett. And a little bit later that night, Emmett and Dylan are sitting on the roof together, and Dylan's super drunk, and Emmett is like, you know what would really impress Mandy? If you jump off this roof into the pool. So Dylan's like, great idea, and he lifts his drink and is like, Mandy Lane, this is for you, and he jumps into the pool, but misses entirely and cracks his head open and dies. We cut to a few months later, we see that Mandy has actually now kind of become friends with Dylan's group of friends, while Emmett is still an outcast and being bullied. One of the friends, Red, decides that he's going to throw a party that weekend at his father's farmhouse that's pretty much in the middle of fucking nowhere. So he invites his friends Jake and Bird, Chloe, who's like your classic popular cheerleader, and Jake's girlfriend Marlon, who is not fat, but Chloe bullies for being fat because this movie was filmed in the 2000s. The six of them, including Mandy, set out and they go to the farmhouse. When they get there, they meet Garth, who is the ranch hand, who is just like not into their shenanigans. He's like, I will tell your father if you guys fuck around. That night, as they're playing a game, Jake's fragile ego is hurt by a joke, so he storms out and Marlon follows him. The two of them hook up in a barn, but Jake's a fucking asshole, so it ends up in an argument. And as they're walking back to the house separately, we see an unseen person attack Marlon and break her jaw with a shotgun. And then Jake goes back to the house and tries to, like, seduce Mandy, which we see Bird has also already shot his shot with Mandy. She's just not having it, and if anything, it seems like she's more into Chloe. So eventually Jake decides that since he's been rejected by Mandy, he's going to go look for Marlon because she hasn't come back yet. And when he goes to look for her, he finds her with her jaw hanging off by the lake. And that's when Emmett emerges. And it turns out he's the one that attacked Marlon, and he's here to make them all pay for the humiliation and bullying that he has suffered. Emmett proceeds to shoot Jake and then finish off Marlon too, so now they're both dead. So Emmett goes back to the house where he sees the others, but they don't see him, and he shoots a firework at them. So Bird decides to chase after the person he sees running away because he thinks it's Jake just pulling a prank on them. But he reveals he's not Jake, he's Emmett, and he proceeds to brutally kill Bird. Meanwhile, the other three have been drinking and smoking all day, so they fall asleep, and Garth is at the house too. And the next morning, the four of them go to leave the house, and as they walk outside, Emmett shoots Garth in the shoulder. So Mandy stays with Garth, meanwhile Chloe and Red make a run for it to try to go for the car. Emmett sees them and proceeds to shoot Red and kill him, and then he chases Chloe. So Mandy ends up finding the keys to Garth's truck so they can make a getaway, but as she's outside, she sees Chloe running in her direction away from Emmett. Chloe runs directly into Mandy's arms, and Mandy hugs her and then stabs her in the stomach. This bitch is in on it. So Chloe bleeds out and dies, and then Emmett and Mandy have their moment together. It turns out they orchestrated this whole thing together, and they also have a suicide pact. And Mandy's like, oh baby, I never had any intention of killing myself. I just knew that you would commit these murders for me if I said I was going to. Emmett is pissed and he holds up his gun and goes to shoot Mandy. Suddenly, he is shot by Garth, who is watching. Emmett manages to stab Garth and then chases after Mandy. Emmett chases Mandy and eventually the two of them fall into this ditch and a fight ensues between the two of them. Ultimately, Mandy is able to kill Emmett with a log, and she climbs out of the ditch and leaves him. Mandy gets Garth, who is still alive, and they drive away, and Garth just assumes that Mandy is just a victim, and she actually killed the killer and wasn't the orchestrator of this whole thing. The final shot that we get is a flashback of Mandy watching the five of her friends as she smiles, and we now know that's because she knew that they were all about to die, and the movie ends.